Good afternoon, I'm Michelle Arthur with the CBC News Break. Plans to redevelop the Fairchild Street bus terminal and incorporate the river terminal into a new facility have been scaled down. It's been dubbed Fairchild Central. This was confirmed by Minister of Transport and Works Michael Lashley. The $25 million project was revealed last April following a tour of the two city facilities. The project was to be conducted in 3 phases, with the area of the old Fairchild Street Market developed into a main terminal and a living bridge for vendors. The existing bus terminal was slated to undergo redevelopment in 2 phases and the new river terminal constructed in a 3rd phase.
Scaling that down in terms of cost, as you know, obviously guided by the Minister of Finance, we have to try to bring the cost down, bring it in a reasonable cost. So we've actually gone back to the drawing board in terms of looking at bringing it down so that it be manageable and it does not impact on the country finances.
Mr. Lashley tells CBC News priority will be given to improving the infrastructure at the river terminal,
particularly in regulating the traffic out there, particularly also in bringing some new facilities. And we are also looking at bringing a new image to that terminal, and also there might be a possibility that we are looking at alternative sites so that we can, even if it reaches that stage, that we can move those that are vans and minibuses from out there to a place where we can have them controlled. But that is something that we're looking at. But of course, we are also looking at improvement in there. So we're looking at the cost of each, and I believe the one that is really cost effective, we would go with.
The Coastal Zone Management Unit is closely monitoring the situation of beach erosion. Many have raised concern about erosion on some of the nation's beaches, more recently at Brandon's. Acting head of the unit, Dr. Lorna Innes, has however made it clear that the gain and loss of sand is a natural process.
What we have is a vigorous and vibrant beach profile monitoring program where we measure the volume and width, the volume of sand and the width of a number of beaches. We're close to 100, if not more at this point, sites around the island where we measure on a quarterly basis the changes in beach width and sand volume. This is, of course, not just crucial to our science. It's important to the disaster management, and it's also important even to the tourism sector.
Dr. Innes says they will not intervene in every situation.
You look at the seasonal and the natural ebb and flow of sediment onto a beach, and we are able to determine whether we should intervene artificially, because our intervention into a natural process changes the process. So we don't want to do that lightly. You want to make sure that when a beach erodes, that it may erode for a long enough period of time or to an extent that it requires intervention. And our modeling and analysis will tell us that.
Concerns have been raised about planned coastline development at Sandy Lane. Some surfers are still so worried it will destroy one of the popular surfing areas. They are lobbying against the move. The group, led by Sam Innes, delivered a petition with hundreds of signatures to the Environmental Protection Department and the Town and Country Planning Development Office. Mr. Innes says some breakwaters are planned as part of the project, and one of them will negatively impact surfers.
We, the surfers and the beach users of Barbados, we are petitioning against the one being placed on the surf break. And we are requesting that a proper environmental and social impact study be done properly and not hastily, so that the other breakwaters that they want to put in place can be done and done properly, so it doesn't cause any negative effects along this coastline.
International surfing judge Elvis Carter is supporting the cause. He believes losing the surfing spot will be a major blow to Barbados.
It is one of the best surf breaks we have on the island. I don't think we should ever be destroying reefs or surf breaks in Barbados, because surfing is a growing sport. It's growing throughout the world. I mean, we have places in the United States in the desert where people are building wave pools. England is building a wave pool that costs millions of pounds. Australia. So, you know, surfing, we are a surfing nation, and we need to keep the things that bring tourists to Barbados.
However, the surfers are being assured they have nothing to fear. This from Beach Regeneration Limited, the non-profit organization behind the development. Sportsman Richard Hudson says all they're seeking to do is stop the significant erosion taking place and rehabilitate the beach. He says they are now modeling scenarios to find the best solution for all concerned. Mr. Hudson also pointed out that several government departments signed off on the plans before any work was undertaken. The prevalence of visual impairments in countries across the Americas remains a major problem. This is in large part due to an increasingly older population. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Joyce St. John says in 2010, the World Health Organization estimated that more than 26 million people have visual impairments, and about 3 million of them are blind. She says, however, there is a plan to reverse this trend.
In 2013, the World Health Assembly approved the Global Action Plan for the Prevention of Avoidable Blindness and Visual Impairment for 2014 to 2019. In addition, the Strategic Plan of the Pan American Health Organization 2014 to 2019, approved by the Directing Council in 2013, gives priority to eye health in the context of reducing preventable disability, providing access to rehabilitation services, and promoting better health and living conditions.
Dr. St. John was addressing a recently held ophthalmology subspecialty conference at the Hilton. She says the Ministry of Health remains committed to providing the highest quality eye care to Barbadians.
The Lions Eye Care Center at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital has been equipped with ultra-modern, state-of-the-art ophthalmological equipment to support the various subspecialties being offered by our ophthalmologists, which include a wide range of experts in subspecialty areas. The suite located on the top floor of the Lions Eye Care Center consists of 3 eye theaters which were refurbished.
Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, says hoteliers need to support the marketing of local foods. Mr. Paul says Sandals Resorts has already shown keen interest. He's therefore calling for more hoteliers to work with the Barbados Agricultural Society in contributing to the initiative.
We would like other major hotel operators to come in. I mean, we have an indication from Sandals that they're going to work more closely with the BS in terms of sourcing local fruits and vegetables, and we want to expand that. So generally, we think that that might probably be the only downside in terms of the number. But the fact that we have a hotel there, I think is indicative of the fact that there's a recognition that that they need to play a role in terms of facilitating the marketing of local fruits and vegetables.
Mr. Paul also wants the tourism sector to work closer with the BAS. He believes both sectors will benefit.
The tourism sector needs to pay much greater attention to us because we represent another reason why tourists want to come to Barbados, and a viable reason to adapt. And we will want to encourage them to maybe have a discussion with us to see how we can increase the attendance of tourists at hotels. Because, you know, we might make the same mistake that we have made in the past, where we feel that we are having such an extremely good year, there's no other reason to get tourists involved. But once we get tourists involved, it's another, people today are different. People are looking for things that they can enjoy, that will pique their interest, that will help them. They want to participate in the things that locals do.
Newly elected president of the Barbados Youth Development Council, Kimberly Norville, says her executive body will be aiming at getting more youth groups to join the organization. Ms. Norville believes this will strengthen the association and create new partnerships.
Moving forward, we are hoping one of our main plans is to make sure that the Barbados Youth Development Council is known in the country. So many people aren't aware of what we are or what we do. There are so many youth organizations that are not even under our umbrella that we do not have contact with, and by having them together we can have more partnerships between the youth organizations, because ultimately, though the mandates may be different, the goal is the same between all of them, to have a strong, developed youth of this nation going forward. So one of our main goals is to have all of them coming together, have more unity among them, more cooperation and more partnerships, so that a comprehensive program can be created so that all the needs of our youth are met to the best of our ability.
She was speaking at the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Youth headquarters, where she and other members of the executive body were elected to represent the organization. Director of Youth Cleverson Hunt told them to do their best in keeping the youth active.
We want to remind them that the challenges of young people across the country are enormous and that they have a serious responsibility to ensure that they carry out their remit and that they involve all the young people in the net, and that their approach will be one that is participatory and one that will empower our young people across the country.
We'll have regional and international news in just a moment.
I'm Christabel